In a world teetering on the edge, survival isn't just about what you have stored away. It's about staying completely hidden. From the sudden darkness of an urban blackout to the unsettling quiet of rural unrest, we're going to break down proven tactics used by security experts and actual survivors. In a crisis, a decision you make in a single minute can be what protects your family for years to come. As the clock ticks closer to midnight for the world as we know it, invisibility might just be your single greatest defense. Imagine it for a second. Chaos erupts just outside your door. You hear sirens wailing in the distance, the frantic footsteps of people running, and a thick cloud of uncertainty fills the air. Yet, inside your home, there's a strange sense of calm. No light bleeds through the windows. No sounds escape into the night. No one outside has any idea you're even there. In times of total collapse, the safest place isn't the one with the highest walls or the strongest locks. It is the one that simply can't be found. In this new world, invisibility becomes the ultimate rule of survival. As the threads of society unravel, homes that blend seamlessly into the background are the ones left untouched, while those that stand out for any reason become targets. Disappearing in plain sight may be your family's greatest shield. When society breaks down, fear and desperation change everything. They change how people see the world, and more importantly, how they see you. Ordinary homes, once just part of the scenery, suddenly transform into potential sources of food, water, or shelter for those who are unprepared. A single flicker of light from a candle, the faint smell of a meal being cooked, or even the soft murmur of voices can be a beacon, drawing desperate eyes straight to your door. In these moments, what you have can make you a target. Scarcity breeds suspicion, and people you've known for years, even neighbors, can become competitors, driven by the primal instinct to survive. The line between friend and foe blurs as trust evaporates and anxiety takes over. Those who appear well supplied, even unintentionally, risk attracting the wrong kind of attention. Meanwhile, those who seem to have nothing, who just fade into the background, are far more likely to be overlooked. In a world where any kind of exposure can mean danger, invisibility isn't a tactic, it's essential. So how do you do it? How do you make your home vanish? In a world turned upside down, blending in is your best protection. The goal is to make your home look as ordinary, uninteresting, and even unoccupied as possible. Let's start with the most obvious giveaway: light. Cover every single window with heavy blackout curtains or thick blankets to ensure not a single sliver of light escapes at night. Avoid using any outdoor lights, and if you absolutely need to use a flashlight or lantern, do so in a central room with no windows. Next, sound. Keep noise to an absolute minimum. Turn off generators during high-risk hours, especially at dusk and dawn when the world is quietest. Keep conversations low and don't play music or make any unnecessary sounds that could travel. Everything you own needs to be out of sight. Store all your supplies where they can't be seen from the outside, and never ever leave packaging, trash, or empty boxes outside. That's like putting up a sign that says, "We just got new stuff." Finally, let your yard go a little. A perfectly manicured lawn screams, "We have resources and time." A slightly neglected look helps you fade right into the background. In a crisis, standing out is a liability. Blending in is your shield. Invisibility isn't just about what people see. It is also about what they hear and what they smell. Even the faintest glow from a candle peeking through a crack or the distant aroma of a meal can reveal your presence to someone actively searching for signs of life. To control light leaks completely, you need to go beyond curtains. Use cardboard or even black plastic bags taped securely around the edges of every window and door frame. At night, rely on low-powered, shielded lights like a headlamp pointed at the floor, and avoid opening doors when it's dark outside. For sound, you need to think about soundproofing. Keep conversations quiet and try to limit noisy activities to times when there's natural cover noise, like a thunderstorm or distant sirens. Place rugs, blankets, or towels at the bottom of doors to muffle voices and footsteps. When it comes to scent, this is critical. Cook only when absolutely necessary and choose foods with minimal aroma. Boiling rice is a lot less noticeable than frying bacon. Store all your trash in airtight containers and dispose of it discreetly, far from your home if possible. Never leave food scraps where they can attract animals or human attention. Every sense you control adds another layer of protection, another brick in your wall of invisibility. In a crisis, even your daily habits can put you at risk. The routines that once brought comfort, leaving for work at the same time, turning on the lights at dusk, taking out the trash on Tuesday mornings, can now become dangerous patterns that draw unwanted attention. People are creatures of habit, but in a collapse, they also become expert observers of the habits of others, especially when resources are scarce and suspicion is high. To keep your home invisible, you have to break your routines. You need to become unpredictable. Vary the times you check outside. Use different doors if you have them. Avoid creating visible trails in your yard from walking the same path over and over. Limit trips in and out of your home to the bare minimum. If you must leave, do so when others are likely distracted or during periods of noise and confusion. The less predictable your activity, the less likely you are to be noticed. In a world of chaos, unpredictability is your quietest and most reliable ally. When society collapses, the people around you can be both your greatest weakness and your greatest strength. Building trust with a few select neighbors and forming quiet, discreet alliances can provide extra eyes and ears, shared resources in a pinch, and early warnings about approaching danger. A small, well-chosen network can help everyone stay safer without drawing attention to the group. But misplaced trust can be catastrophic. A careless word to the wrong person or a visible exchange of supplies can turn an ally into a competitor, or worse, an enemy. On the other hand, complete and total isolation might keep you hidden, but it also means you face every single challenge alone, with no one to watch your back or help if things go wrong. The key is finding a delicate balance. Observe your neighbors from a distance. Learn their routines, their personalities, their level of preparedness. Choose very, very carefully who to trust, if anyone. Sometimes, the safest path is to simply blend into the community, just enough to avoid suspicion, while keeping your true preparations entirely private. History is filled with incredible stories of people who survived utter chaos by mastering the art of invisibility. In war-torn cities, families stayed safe not by building barricades, but by making their houses look completely abandoned. Windows dark, doors sealed, and no signs of life for weeks on end. In one small town facing famine, a family quietly shared food from their hidden garden with a few trusted neighbors, never boasting or showing off their supplies. Their house blended in perfectly, and while others were looted, they remained untouched. During a multi-day citywide blackout, a group of friends in an apartment building covered their windows, kept noise to a minimum, and avoided all unnecessary movement. While chaos and looting erupted on the streets below, their apartment was completely overlooked by desperate crowds searching for help or resources. These stories all share a common thread. Survival often depends on subtlety, caution, and the wisdom to know when to stay quiet and let the storm pass you by. The most successful survivors weren't always the strongest or the best equipped. They were the ones who understood when to fade into the shadows. To make your home truly invisible in a crisis, let's recap the essential steps. First, cover all windows with blackout materials to block every bit of light. Second, keep noise to an absolute minimum. Speak quietly, avoid loud activities, and only use generators during low-risk times. Third, control your scent profile. Cook simple, low-aroma foods, and manage your trash in airtight containers, disposing of it discreetly. Fourth, be unpredictable. Break up your routines, vary your movements, and limit trips outside. Fifth, be strategic with your community. Build quiet, trustworthy connections if you can, but always keep your preparations private. And finally, observe your surroundings constantly and be ready to adapt. Remember, the less you stand out, the safer you'll be. Preparation and subtlety are your best defenses. Start planning today, because in a world where being seen can be the greatest danger of all, invisibility is your ultimate shield. Thank you for watching. If you found this information valuable, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content to help you stay prepared. Stay safe out there.